Cliff Method Man Smith. Welcome to the Daily Social Distancing Show.
Well, thank you for having me, Mr. Noah.
Oh man, this is truly an honor for me. I spent many years of my high school life learning every single lyric of yours, and and then you went and abandoned me and became a major acting star. I feel like I'm personally aggrieved.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. I think the transition has worked for me, and I'm having fun. That's the best thing I can have right now, as far as
Yeah, man, you're not just having fun, you're having fun and you're successful. We've seen you in everything from the Deuce all the way through to like the best hip hop videos and movies, but fans are loving what you're doing right now in Power Book 2. Talk me through a little bit of why you think this show is sometimes even more popular than the original.
I think that people were, especially after the pandemic, people were looking for a nice escape. And a lot of people were familiar with the original series, this being the spinoff, and they were excited to see where it was going to go, especially after they killed off the main character in the series finale.
Right.
So
Right.
that, along with the anticipation of having a Mary J. Blige in the cast, people were very curious. And I think Courtney took great advantage of that. And the writing has stepped up, and the character development is key in this whole thing, because if people didn't receive the new characters well, then we don't really have a show. And I'm taking my hat off and applauding Michael right now, Michael Rainey, for his performance. He is our leading man, and we are behind him 110%, brother.
Mary J. Blige. I mean,
Yes.
the queen, just the absolute queen. You two worked together in music such a long time ago. Did you ever for a second think that the next time you would collaborate would be on screen?
No, honestly, I'm just going to be honest. I thought that maybe we collaborate on maybe more records over the years.
Right,
which-
right.
But on screen, I watched Mary's progression over the years, and I have to say that she embodies this Monet character like it was written for her. It probably was, if you really think about it. But yeah, she is such a boss on this show, just like in real life. And I think that people are very intrigued by the Tejada family, and her being the matriarch of that family makes it even more intriguing.
You know, one of the things I love about your acting is that in many ways I feel like you've always had the ability to craft a story through your words and through your expressions and through your vibe. I mean, like, even in your music, like, you know, every song that I would listen to, it felt like you were embodying a different character. Whether it was in the Rock Wilder or whether it was like, like creeping through a back window, silent as a mouse. You know what I mean? You always had that feeling where it was like, I'm embodying a different character. Do you feel like acting has just always been in your bones? Do you think you've always had the ability to shift seamlessly between different stories that you're telling?
I think being in entertainment as a whole has prepared me for what I'm doing now, especially with videos that you were speaking of. And I think a lot of it has to do with charm and personality, but the biggest effort and the biggest thing that shows difference is your dedication to the art form of it. Unless you're taking classes, you show up to set on time, ready to work, all that plays a part. And like I said, being on stage in front of 40 to 50,000 people and entertaining them for an hour and a half,
Right.
I can pull it off pretty well on a big screen and a small screen as well.
I mean, there was a day when you were trending on social media, and I was like, oh man, what has happened? Method Man is trending. Whenever you see a celebrity's name trending, you're like, oh man, they died, or they should wish that they died. It's always one of the two. Instead, it was Method Man at 50, laying thirst traps that most 22-year-olds couldn't dream of achieving. Talk me through a little bit about this transformation, because your body has gone to another level. Like, I heard you used to play video games, and then I was like, that's not a video gamer's body. And now I hear that you've made a change in your life, and that's why you look the way you do.
Well, I appreciate that. And yes, I did make a change in my life. I decided to start to take more care of my body as well as my mind. I felt like if I was going to improve my mental, I might as well improve my physical as well. And it started with me, just binging video games 3, 4 in the morning. I'm pretty sure you know what that feels like, my brother.
Yeah. What did you play? It
was a lot of Call of Duty, I
What were you,
like a
free
lot of
for
run.
all or team deathmatch? What was your?
You know what? We were kill confirms,
Okay.
death match, and what's the where you get the points A, B, and C because that's how
Oh
you
yeah, capture the flag.
capture. Yeah.
Right.
And you know, I just started feeling real loserish. You know, you're waking up 2 in the morning, can't go back to sleep, and you're on the couch playing video games, just eating snacks. So I had this gym subscription. I had this gym membership, and I decided to take advantage of it. And the gym happened to open at 4 a.m. and I haven't looked back since.
Damn. I've got a different technique. What I do is I play a ton. And then what I do is if I am, let's say if I'm playing Warzone now and then I get kicked to the gulag or I'm waiting for my team to buy me back, then what I'll do is I gotta do like 10 burpees or I gotta do like 20 push-ups. So like every time I respawn, I gotta do something. I'm not gonna go to the gym for hours, but I'll punish myself for not playing well. And then like just feel like I'm moving. I feel like I'm moving. So one of the things that's truly fascinated me about your career and affected me, I think, is that you upended the idea of what a rapper and sometimes even a black man is supposed to be interested in. You know, you're an avid comic book collector. You were somebody who was never afraid to read and expand your mind at a time when, you know, like oftentimes in hip hop, ignorance was celebrated as like the be all and end all. But you came from a class in a school where you were like, no, I'm going to be informed. I'm going to read. I'm going to infuse my hip hop and my work with this. I'm going to be a comic book collector. There's no nerd title to this. This is part of who I am. Is there a reason you did that? Or where did you get the confidence to do that in a world and an industry that always wanted to put people in one box?
Well, it's funny because I am a result of my environment, a product of my environment. And, you know, the comic book thing played a major part in my wordplay because, you know, it basically taught me how to read. And some of the words in there you were forced to look up in the dictionary like you did with Wu-Tang words. And
Right.
when you couldn't find them, you knew that we were making this shit up. But anyway, anyway, I mean, it gave me a sense of a moral code as well as, you know, a vast vocabulary, especially for writing. And the beauty of, you know, me being black and growing up in these neighborhoods, I could be around some of the toughest guys and they still love Thor, the Hulk, Spider-Man, you know, and it was never an issue of me being a geek or a nerd. It was just that, oh, wow, yo, let me check that book out real fast, you know? So I never had that stigma. So it was never any issue for me to put comic books in the forefront of my rhymes or lifestyle, you know what I mean? It was just an easy thing for me, very easy.
I know you've got a new podcast out where you're talking to all kinds of celebrities and you know, comic book geeks and nerds alike, where we're celebrating the art form. Talk me through that and what you love about it so much.
Yeah, the Marvel method. This was like years in the making in my mind because I kept pining for, you know, just letting people know my love for comic books and how Marvel shaped who I am today and how you know, it really had an effect on my lifestyle as a child. So for these guys to come and offer me a podcast talking about books with people that are in the industry like me, that's like the gift that keeps on giving. And I learned so much of correlation between comic books and life with a lot of these stars, like who they are today. You can see it. And like I said, there's a moral code in these books, whether I admit it or not, that we all live by. We don't kill. It's like that. Just, you know, we want to see justice. We want a happy ending, and that's what everybody wants in life. So the Marvel method, when people tune in, they're going to get more than just us talking shop about the books. They're going to get like a real experience from artist to artist talking about their life prior to books and after. And we get to talk to some of the writers, which makes it even more better.
I've always wanted to know, which Marvel character would you want to play in a Marvel movie?
Well, there aren't many black characters. Shout out to Chadwick Boseman, beautiful man. Wakanda forever, for real. There aren't many black characters in the Marvel universe. There are some, and I cherish them. Don't get me wrong. And I was pining for Bishop, X-Men, and Adam Brashear, the Blue Marvel. But now it's like, I think it's time for new characters. If we can just make new characters now, I'm liking this. You know, we don't have to gender swap. We don't have to race swap, anything. Just bring new characters.
All right, so I'll ask you this before I let you go. If you were to create any character, what are the powers that you would give that character and why?
Ooh, Wow. Geez, that's a tough one. Geez, I think he would probably be. I'd make him an empath. Like he would have the
Okay.
power of
Okay.
empathy, and he could reflect that to the world, that empathic ability, and then he can, with that empathic ability, can cure racism if he wanted to, or can have peace on earth because he's projecting this. All he needs is a big stage, social media, and people to hear his voice. That would be dope. And he could be a villain, an anti-hero, so to speak, because there's a lot of people that don't want that message.
Damn.
Think about it.
Okay. Okay. You know how he gets his powers? He gets his powers because as a little kid, he was in a hospital where they were working on his brain, and the machine they connected him up to connected him to the other kids by mistake, and it like electrocuted him, and he got all of their thoughts and their feelings inside of him, and that's where he got the power.
Co-creator right there. Trevor, you are a genius. Thank you.
Yo, Mr. Metzer, you made my day, man. You've made a part of my life, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you, Trevor. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, my dude.
Peace.